Hello everyone, I am back for another DVD collection update. I'm going to consider this both July and August because I got a few of them in July and I got the majority of them especially near the end of August. I have 22 updates today. This update has a mix of both old and new. I only have one TV show. My next update will have a few more TV shows. I just ordered some things on Amazon that I'm really excited to have. I just had to wait for payday. Yeah, but I couldn't wait any longer, and I thought I better do it while August is still here. So yeah, let's get into the update. So the first I have is An American in Paris. I bought this on Amazon, on eBay for $5, and it's brand new, and I watched this movie purely because it was on the AFI musicals or something like that. And I also like Gene Kelly, so I decided to give it a watch. It was quite enjoyable. The dancing was phenomenal, and it was very colorful and very beautiful. The end scene, I think it's like 15-16 minutes of just dancing with him and his co-star between different sets and different genres of music and dance and costumes and scenes and set. It's just gorgeous. It will keep you entertained the entire time. The next is The Terminal with Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks is my favorite. I had no intention of buying it. I actually watched it like the day of or the day before I saw it, so I don't know, it was just because I really liked it. I gave both An American in Paris and The Terminal 5 stars because I really enjoyed it. I thought Tom Hanks was so phenomenal in everything he does, but I don't know, this one was great. Steven Spielberg movie. It's actually based off a true story, look it up. I watched this movie because of the top AFI 100 movies list, but I was really surprised that I really enjoyed this as much as I did. For one, it has the best two co-stars of all time. It has the two best actor and actress combo of all time. That is obviously Katharine Hepburn and Humphrey Bogart. I think this was on Netflix Instant for a while, but then I just decided to buy it because I wanted to sort of vamp up my collection and bring in more older movies as well. And this one did not disappoint. I believe I gave it 5 out of 5 stars as well. It was just so enjoyable, and Humphrey Bogart was looking freaking hot in this movie. I'm just saying, he looked good with the scruff. This movie surprised me so much, and I'm so glad I watched it. It probably is one of my favorite movies now. I'm obsessed with it, and that is 12 Angry Men. Holy shit, this movie kept me on the edge of my seat and kept me so captured within the movie the entire time. I am so just in awe of how intelligent and how incredible this movie was. It was basically, obviously 12 jurors. They have to decide if this 18-year-old boy, who was actually also a minority, killed his father, and only one guy believed he was not guilty, and he has to prove throughout the entire movie that he is not guilty to the other 11 men who believe he is guilty, and how much small amount of evidence that they have can be proven that he is not guilty, and try not to judge him based on his minority race. And yeah, it's just, the acting is so phenomenal, and seeing how 12 minds changed instantly within only an hour and a half. It is incredible. Almost the entire movie is in that room, and it sounds really boring, but let me tell you, it is freaking incredible the way it is done. Another movie that surprised the crap out of me, also probably another of my favorite movies, and that is Psycho. Also another movie I gave 5 out of 5 stars. A lot of these at first were 5 out of 5 stars. More of the recent ones I got weren't as 5 out of 5 stars because I just found them and wanted to add them to my collection, but a majority of these are some movies that I just was obsessed with and had to buy them instantly, and that one of them was Psycho. This is actually, I didn't plan to buy it, but I saw it and I just decided to get it because it was actually pretty cheap. Psycho is an incredible movie. What blows my mind about this movie is that Norman Bates, who is based off Ed Gein, helped create so many other fictionalized serial killers that are so famous today, like Leatherface. I don't know about Hannibal Lecter, but I'm assuming Hannibal Lecter, Buffalo Bill, how all these other humongous franchises and probably some of the other horror movie ones were actually very much inspired by Norman Bates, could inspire all those other franchises. It blows my mind. Now, I've seen a couple other Alfred Hitchcock's movies, but I didn't like them as much as Psycho. Nothing where I was like, holy fuck, no wonder everybody loves this guy, because this was so great. I was like freaking obsessed with it the entire time. It's freaking creepy, it's suspenseful. This was really just a spur of the moment kind of thing I saw on eBay. I'd seen it years and years and years ago, and There's Something About Mary, obviously. But I never bought it, and I found it for $3 on eBay, so I just decided to get it. And this was also another just random buy, but I did have it on my Amazon wish list because I figured, why not? I found it for $3 at Walmart. Edward Scissorhands. Just a classic. Another $3 purchase was Raising Arizona. I had only seen it like a couple weeks ago. I love the Coen brothers, so I decided to see it. I had heard things about this movie, but I didn't know really what the hell it was about. Nicolas Cage, I had no idea he was in this. It was such a weird movie, but I feel like it's a movie I'd see again. And it's silly and weird and quirky and so odd, but it's definitely the Coen brothers' signature style, and I really liked it actually. I wouldn't give it 5 out of 5 stars, but definitely like 4 out of 5. It was very well done, definitely, even if the concept was a little strange. This was also a random buy, but I really enjoyed this movie when I saw it first round. The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. Wow. Ben Stiller directed this as well, starring in it. He did such a great job. I know he's done a few other movies. I know he's done The Cable Guy, which I didn't like very much. It's not my kind of thing. But this movie really surprised me. It very much reminds me of Into the Wild-esque, but not. I mean, obviously it's not the same concept, but, you know, getting out, seeing the world that you never imagined, and I give this movie 5 out of 5 because I was so surprised how great it was. It's typical kind of, you know, sort of plot and whatnot, but it is so well done, and I kept thinking about it afterwards. I am so happy I found this. I've been looking for this movie since I've made my Amazon wish list. I loved Admission when I first saw it. Great, great, great movie. I love Tina Fey and Paul Rudd. What a great combo of actors. I know it's kind of a typical story. It's something that really sticks out to me. I don't know, I just really enjoyed it. Sort of the rom-com kind of thing. Not as well known. Okay, the next movie is probably another one of my favorite movies of all time right now because it just fucking blew my mind, and that is City of God. Now, I'm going to recommend millions of movies to you guys, but this is one I would definitely say in the top 10, please watch right now. It was on Netflix. I'm hoping it still is. I actually found this movie on the IMDb top 250 movie. If you've never heard of City of God, it is a Portuguese film, and it's based in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. It very much reminds me of Slumdog Millionaire. But obviously in a different location and a different sort of backstory. I'll try not to talk too much about it. I think you should like watch the trailer or something. But it is about a lot of drug dealing, a lot of gangs, a lot of children involved with gangs, and that's what makes it even scarier. While Slumdog Millionaire is terrifying on its own, something about this movie, the fact that they have it's them becoming adults in a sense, where they are running all this stuff, and one of the main characters, who's the bad guy, he is ruthless. He is terrifying, and basically the main character is like a kid who's trying to get away from that life. He lived in the slums of Rio de Janeiro, so he couldn't escape it. His brother was part of that life. His brother was killed. And there was like 3 boys that were like the big hot shots of the neighborhood, and they just were, doing petty theft and just keeping up their rep and stuff. And eventually one of the younger brothers joins the 3 brothers in this robbery. He ends up killing everyone, and he starts going crazy, and he becomes that villain. And so this other kid, the main character, he wants to step away from that life. He wants to be a photographer. He wants to have a career. He wants to do more with his life and not enter in that world, and it's really hard to do that when everybody around him is involved with that. And it's also based in like either the 60s or the 70s, so it kind of gives it also a weird twist. But the cinematography and the editing and the angles and the camera work in this movie is freaking incredible. Like, there are some shots I've never seen done before, the way that they do it, and it's just, this movie kept me so like mind blown the entire time. The fact that it's also a foreign film and you have to read subtitles the entire time also helps, but it really kept my focus the entire time through, and I've never been so amazed by a movie like this in a really long time. The next is Double Indemnity. I watched this because it was on the AFI Top 100, but it really surprised me how great this movie was. It's a film noir. It's from 1944. It's sort of like, one of those detective mystery, who murdered who kind of thing. Basically this insurance agent falls in love with this woman trying to get her husband to do an insurance policy, and so they like sort of plan to murder her husband so they can get the claim and double indemnity. and so then they can live together and be happily, whatever, but obviously things go wrong, and wow, this movie was so great. So don't let black and white movies, like, you know, really put you down and like, oh god, no, it's gonna be boring. Trust me, some movies, and actually a lot of them, are freaking great regardless of what color they're in. Another 5 out of 5 star movies, and by the way, most of these, like I said, are 5 out of 5. This is another one. Holy crap, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner has one of the best casts I've seen of all time. It has Sidney Poitier, Spencer Tracy, Katharine Hepburn, and then introducing, who's that? Catherine Houghton, who is the daughter. It's in 1967, the same year that Sidney Poitier did In the Heat of the Night and To Sir with Love. All 3 movies based on civil rights and discrimination and segregation and integration and all that jazz. So basically the story is this girl's parents, who seem very, you know, liberal, they're for equality, they're very much for civil rights, but then she brings home her new fiance who is black and they did not know that. So how does a sort of middle to high class family deal with having a black but also very intelligent black man in part of their family going to marry their daughter, and how do those tensions sort of arise? You know, she thought her parents were like really great about that stuff, but then you find out the real truth about what if there is somebody part of that integrating into their family. I talked about In and Out in my best LBGT films, and I had to buy it because I loved it so much. I believe it's still on Netflix Instant. I do believe Guess Who's Coming to Dinner and Double Indemnity is also on Netflix. A lot of these are on Netflix Instant because I just like having it right there and watching it wherever I want. But In and Out is freaking hilarious. And a lot of the 90s sort of, not all of them, but quite of the more popular 90s gay films were meant to be comedies, sort of ease the tensions, you know, to get, you know, being gay is not a big deal, you know, it's a laugh ride, it's hilarious, you know, like, I mean, not all of them, like Philadelphia was not obviously like that at all, and that was 1983, but movies like The Birdcage and In and Out were like trying to transition into, it's okay to be gay, it's normal, you know, but yet being gay is also kind of funny, or like Will and Grace. Obviously, you know, there's more to it than just comedy purposes, but it's sort of what was kind of the theme back then. And this one was just one of the other cases of it. It was freaking hilarious. Kevin Kline and Tom Selleck, Joan Cusack. It had a whole humongous cast. I need to watch this again. I freaking loved it. Another 5 out of 5 star film is The Shawshank Redemption. I think most people can say this is one of the best films of all time, you know, made. I mean, it's not my favorite movie, but definitely it blew my mind. It did not let me down at all. I mean, it was great the whole way through. The Darjeeling Limited is probably one of my new favorite Wes Anderson films. Besides Moonrise Kingdom, this is probably my second favorite. This movie surprised me so much. While I do love Wes Anderson movies, and he's one of my favorite directors, not all of his movies are my absolute favorites. I do enjoy them purely because of the style, but they don't end up being like my favorites because, you know, of the storyline, but I just really like looking at it. This one was freaking great. The Darjeeling Limited is basically about 3 brothers who kind of had a semi-falling out because their family's so odd and they're, you know, all grown up and they're trying to reunite and bond. One of the brothers is trying to get them all together and reunite and with their brotherlyhood on this train around India. Wow, it was just so great. I loved it so much. All 3 actors were incredible. Owen Wilson, Adrian Brody, Jason Schwartzman, and then of course there are a couple cameos from a lot of the you know, Wes Anderson actors group. So yeah, phenomenal film. It's very underrated because Wes Anderson's movies aren't, you know, popularized because, you know, they're Fox Searchlight, and they're sort of independent movies. And they're not in theaters very much and not really publicized. So yeah, you probably hadn't heard this one. Maybe you did, just didn't give it a chance. Give it a chance. This is the only TV show I bought. I really bought this on a whim. I thought it was $7.99 at Target, ended up being $10. Well, I'm like, whatever, I've wanted to buy this for like a year now, or 2, or 3, I don't even know. But it's Weeds Season 7, not my favorite season, but I want to own them all. Only one more season left till I have all the collection of Weeds on DVD. Yeah, so, I never showed all the DVDs, did I, on the inside? Sorry, I'll show them next time. There's too many this time. But yeah, Weeds, I don't know, it used to be one of my favorite shows. I still enjoy it. I love season 8, so I really want to get that one. I bought this randomly at one of my local sort of used DVD shops. Vicky Cristina Barcelona, I've wanted to own it for a while now. One of my favorite Woody Allen films. Just really interesting, really well done, very Woody Allen-esque movie. The random one I bought is some Like a Hot. This is only $2.99. I believe this was $2. Both are used, but are in pretty great condition, especially this one because it's older. Yeah, I had to watch this movie in my film class. I really ended up liking it. I love me some Marilyn Monroe. Now this was also really random. I just found it in the $5 bin at Walmart. I used to own I Know You Did Last Summer. I got rid of it. And then I just really wanted to buy it because it has When a Stranger Calls. And I haven't seen that in like years. Probably like 10 years or I don't know. Whenever it came out. Really long time ago. So, oh yeah, almost 10 years. Yeah. I need more horror in my collection. And these are probably the only ones I can stand. It's not too gory and shit. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of like the 2-pack kind of things because I like them separated. But I would never buy these on their own. So 2 for $5 I think was a really good deal. The next is The Sandlot. I never thought I'd own this movie, but it was also one of those $3 movies at Walmart. I went there today again, just randomly to look for something, and I thought, well, I have Raising Arizona and Edward Scissorhands that are $3, so why not own this? It's a classic. I remember watching this as a child. I think it's just a movie that everybody knows from their childhood. Last is E.T. I've wanted to own this for a while now. Everybody knows E.T. It's a classic. It's one of the best. Steven Spielberg, freaking incredible, iconic. This is also, I believe, on the top 100 AFI movies, so there's the bonus. So those are my updates. That's 22. I'm sorry this video was really long. I like to talk. I would definitely check out City of God, The Darjeeling Limited, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, In and Out, Psycho, 12 Angry Men, The African Queen. Okay, all of them. Go see all of them. Just go watch all of them. But definitely City of God. I believe it's still on Netflix, has subtitles. I will see you very soon for my next DVD collection update because I have been such in a DVD buying frenzy, so I'm excited to buy more. And my DVD collection will be filled in no time. So I'll talk to you guys later.